नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 25, entitled Krishna Lifts Govardhan Hill. Text number 10 to 13. Stuna stula varshadhara munchatsva abhishrev abhikshanaha munchatsva abheshva bhikshanashaha jalaughai plavyamanar jalaughai plavyamana bhur nadrushyata natonatam stuna stula varshadhara munchatsva abhreshva abhikshanaha munchatsva abhreshva abhikshanashaha jalaughe plavyamana bhur nadrushyata natonnatam stuna stula varshadhara munchatsva abhreshva abhikshanashaha jalaughai plavyamana bhur nadrushyata natonnatam. Stuna, sorry, please repeat. Jalaughai plavyamana bhur nadrushyata natonnatam. Jalaughai plavyamana bhur. Ladies. Stuna, like columns. Stulaha, massive. Varshadharaha, downpours of rain. Munchatsu, releasing. Abhreshu, the clouds. Abhikshanashaha, incessantly. Jalaughai, by the flood of water. Plavyamana, being submerged. Bhuhu, the earth. Na adrushyata, could not be seen. Nata unnatam, low or high. Translation. As the clouds released torrents of rain, as thick as massive columns, the earth was submerged in the flood, and high ground could no longer be distinguished from the low. There is no purport, so we will read the next verses. अत्यासारति वातेन पशवो जातवेपनः Gopa gopyasya sitartha govindam sharanam yayuhu. The cows and the other animals, shivering from the excessive rain and wind, and the cowherd men and ladies pained by the cold, all approached Lord Govinda for shelter. Shiraha sutam shakayena prachadya sara piditaha vepamana bhagavataha padamulam upayayuhu. Trembling from the distress brought about by the severe rainfall and trying to cover their heads and calves with their own bodies, the cows approached the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga Tvannatham Gokulam Prabho Tratum Arhasi Devanaha Gopitad Bhaktavatsala. The cowherd men and the women addressed the Lord. Krishna, Krishna, O most fortunate one, please deliver us, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. O Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees, please save us also. Purport. At the time of Lord Krishna's birth, Garga Muni had predicted, Anena sarva durgani yuyam anjas tarishyatha. Bhagavatam 10.8.16. Translation. By His grace you will easily cross beyond all difficulties. The residents of Vrindavan were confident that in such a great emergency, Lord Sri Narayan would empower Krishna to protect them. They accepted Krishna as everything, and Krishna reciprocated their love. Om Akyanatimirandhasya Vyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki, Shri Giridhari Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki. So very, very sweet and beautiful pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam. All of us are reading for so many days and hearing and contemplating. Today when we see Govardhan, it's also very vast and expansive and very far. Everybody who circumambulates has to get tired and limp for some time, at least for some days. Imagine when Krishna was there, how big he must be, how huge he must be. And we just go there and imagine that how it would have been when Krishna lifted it. What would have been the situation? All the Braj Bhumi was under that umbrella. Such a unique and such a beautiful, satisfying, pleasing pastime that Sri Krishna, most amazing at the same time. So we are at this stage of Bhagavatam, we are in the scene that now Govardhan Puja is over, all the joy, happiness of offering mountains and mountains of food items to Krishna is over. And before the joy and memories fade of this event, something unique has happened, unbelievably. That the Samvartaka clouds are called for. And even they are surprised. Why are you calling us now? Our duty is much, much after. You're calling us like this. He said, you don't discuss, you go ahead now. I will be following you. Destroy that village, destroy everybody, destroy cows, destroy coward coward men, everybody. Just see. There are three things that is very troublesome to a devotee. One is profit, one is pratishtha, that is what? Labh, puja. Pratishtha is what in English? Prestige. And then there is puja, there is worship. Till the time you don't get satisfied with labh, profit, you go on accumulating profit. When that is satisfied, enough is there, then you want prestige. Then person works for prestige. He will spend money here and there to see that his name comes up, he becomes famous. And when the fame is satisfied, then he goes for worship. He wants adoration. He wants others to worship him. And that worship once gets into, it is a very difficult trap of Maya. Very difficult. That is why even when the garland comes to us in Srimad Bhagavatam, you have to immediately offer it to your Gurudev and Parampara. Immediately. Anybody offers Dandavat, immediately we have to offer it to Gurudev and Parampara, and to Krishna. Right from beginning, when the first person, after you become devotee, who offers Dandavat to you, immediately you should offer it to Krishna. When hundreds come, then it becomes easier to offer all them to Krishna. So you can see Indra's condition. Indra is supposed to be Devendra. That means he is the topmost of all demigods, supposed to be the very entrusted, very empowered personality who is a devotee of the Lord, ruling all the demigods who are devotees of the Lord. And when he gets attached to worship, look at what is happening. Once the worship is denied by some happenings on earth, in some small village on such a big 14 planetary system, on earthly planetary system, there is Bharat Varsha and there is some small village called Vrindavan. And there the worship is denied. You can see the anger. He's not just saying, okay, next year I will not give rain to you. It's okay. Your anger can be justified. You didn't worship me this year, next year no rains. When you worship me, rains will come. But look at the proportion, the disproportionate anger that Indra is showing. He's bringing Samvartaka clouds. What I have read in the past, that when this mini pralaya takes place, something like 100 kilometers from surface of earth in the sky, globally, water gets collected. You can imagine? That kind of rain has to be poured to collect 100 kilometers worth rains on the surface of earth, all sides. And that kind of clouds who are supposed to do that, they are invited to destroy a small village. So you can see the anger. So when one gets into this receiving worship mode, he becomes extremely, unbelievably, disproportionately angry. So this worship, one has to be very careful. And by the way, when we progress in Krishna consciousness, it comes on the way. Side by side, Maya is also walking along with you. Krishna is also walking along with you, and Maya also, because she is an eternal companion of Krishna. She is also walking along. She is also throwing her seeds at the same time. So, cautious sadhaka has to be always alert to these kind of stations that come on the pathway of our Krishna consciousness. It is very bewildering. If you read Gopal Champu and other scriptures which describe very vividly what kind of massacre Indra produced. It's very horrible difficulty, Such a horrible difficulty. That is that it was so cold that everybody was freezing, everybody was shivering like anything. It was dark at the same time. It was raining like cats, pillars, and it was lightning, and it was flooded. We had experienced one time flood in Bombay, 2006, which we had gone for rescue. Water was only till this much. And people were having chains and they were walking, hand chains, and they were walking, saving one another. And many people fell in wells and gutters and all those things. And it was such a chaos actually. Such a chaos. But it was like not even an iota of what happened in Vrindavan. Vrindavan, it is explained that the houses were flooding. They were getting fled away. क्या कहते हैं उसको? बह जा रहा था. They were all getting away. Cows and cows were going away from hands, and properties and everything was going away. Cow sheds were going away. And one time when Ganga flooded, our Prabhupada's granddaughter-in-law just went. The husband had held her hand and he was attached to one tree and she was holding her hand, but the flood was so fast that finally he couldn't hold her hand and the flood took her away. And she left this world. So we have experienced this kind of situations. So horrible they are. Not when we are not experienced Samvartaka clouds till now. Imagine Brajbasis had to go through that just because he was denied worship. And such situation, which was apparently caused by Krishna only, right? They were routinely worshipping nicely. It was not that the first time in Krishna's life Govardhan Puja was going on. He was 7-year-old that time. That means every year there must be Govardhan Puja. So it was not a very first time in life, seventh year of Krishna, they decided to Govardhan Puja or Indra Puja, whatever. So Krishna came in between, argued, convinced his father with his sweet little nice talks. Some Mohini talks, very mesmerizing. And Nanda Baba got convinced and he changed. And then everything was turned and then Govardhan Puja was done, right? So apparently, if you and me were there, we would say, yes, because of you. You only told us to do this. So natural reaction would be, it's because of you. All that is happening over here is because of you. We listened to you, we shouldn't have listened to you. We didn't know this will happen, and we didn't know you such a foolish suggestion you are going to give, and we didn't know we are also foolishly going to accept it. And look what has happened now. So everybody, elderly, men, women, friends are expected to talk like this, right? But in Srimad Bhagavatam, we don't find a single word where they are even one moment they are saying, why you did like this. Such faith. Imagine when there is natural, even if they would have said that, we wouldn't have said in the class here, now their faith was shaken. We wouldn't have said because it was such natural. But still, not even once they said like this. Elderly people had the right to say. Other elderly people could have said bad words to Nanda Maharaj. What is this? You are such an elderly 85, 90-year-old man. He's just 7-year-old boy. And you listen to him. You are responsible for this. Where was your intelligence when you are listening to this small boy? And we depend on you that you are our leader. And you listen to a boy and put us in so much difficulty. Whole village, all cows, all calves, every single thing in Braj is in difficulty because of you listening to this boy. But they are also not found saying like this. We cannot even imagine the kind of faith they had in the perfection of the life that they had with Krishna. And on top of that, okay, they may not be talking about it, about Krishna, but they may choose now we will not talk to him. Now we will find some other solution. Because this guy is too difficult, he just always puts us in difficulty. They are approaching him only. That is another thing. They may choose not to complain against him because they love him too much, but they may find some other shelter. Or they may say, oh Narayan, oh Vishnu, oh so and so, please save us. This boy has put us in difficulty, in mind. But they are calling him only, Krishna, Krishna Mahabhag. Even elderly men, even women, they are calling him only. It's very amazing actually. That is why it is said that the relationship between the loving devotees of the Lord and the Lord is inconceivable. We cannot imagine what they are thinking, how they think and how they act and how they conduct their lives and how their emotions go. It is just unimaginable. When we will become one of them, then we will start understanding how we think the way they are thinking. Or we learn their thinking because it takes one to know one. So when we will become like them, we will understand what they are thinking. But it's always amazing, always unbelievable. At the same time, when they are approaching Krishna, they are in great misery. The cows are being fled and they are getting taken away and it's so confusing, Even now also, when suddenly it rains, even in the month of October also, it's so confusing. You are on the road, you don't know which way to go. This bus is coming, a taxi is coming, your clothes are getting wet and this way the traffic is coming, that way traffic is coming. You are so confused. Imagine that kind of rain in Vrindavan. It is said the high and low places couldn't be identified anymore. It was all leveled. Everything was water and water only. You may fall anywhere, whichever direction you go. So, in such condition, they are not complaining and they are calling him only. And by the way, they don't know what he's going to do. Today even a child knows. When there's drama going on, and then all coward men are shouting, and one child in front seat, he says, look, there's a pulley there. Huh? He's going to lift the pulley and the Govardhan is going to go up. Even the child knows today that now this baby Krishna is going to climb and his left hand is going to raise and the Govardhan is going to go up and is going to stand like this nicely. And there's a pulley there upstairs. Everyone knows today, all of us, even before Krishna is lifting Govardhan, everybody knows what's going to happen. But coward men and coward boys did not know what is going to happen. And still they are calling him. So because in the past Krishna has done unbelievable things. When the huge demoness came, Putana, that was the first time that Krishna had to ever kill any demon or demoness. So they were not even knowing what he is going to do. But they saw that 12-mile long lady with mountain-like breasts, and he has just sucked and sucked and sucked like a baby and killed her. Not even killed her, made her body fragrant, and when she was being burnt, smell of Aguru was going everywhere. So they had understood. Because Garga Muni, when he came on the instruction of Vasudeva to do the ceremony, he had explained that this boy will free you from all the anxieties, from all the tensions that you have, all troubles that you have. He will free you from that. He will lift Govardhan, that also was mentioned. But when difficulties come, you don't remember all the words that have been said so many years back. That time they did not know. So when they went, what Krishna did when they called, he said, you come with me. Again they didn't ask him, where are you taking us now? Tell us before you tell us where to go. Tell us before, we will at least decide now whether to go behind you or not go behind you. He just said, come. So some of them lifted the cows on their shoulders, some of them in the hand, some of them big cows pulling, and cows were taking their calves in between their four legs and all kinds of things. They were somehow running behind Krishna. He said, come. And he was going very peacefully. He has understood everything, but nobody has understood anything. What is happening? They are simply bewildered. And they are following. He takes them all. I believe this happened when they were in Nandagaon, right? Because before that, they were in Gokul when he was 3.5 years, till that time. Then they moved to Nandagaon. So, they were coming maybe from that side. They celebrated Govardhan Puja and went back home. And then this happened, and they are coming from Nandagaon side. So, he takes them around Govardhan, goes to a place, well, today we have Chandra Sarovar. And then the cowboy boys are asking him, what are you going to do? So he said, I am going to lift this mountain. So we don't believe that you are going to lift this mountain. You are so small, the mountain is so big. So what Krishna did? He took them to one Kadamba tree, very huge tree. Today we don't get such huge trees. There are some trees. Kalia Ghat, one tree is there, and some other trees are there. Akshay Vat and other trees. So Krishna, in front of the eyes of everybody, lifted that tree and twisted it. The way we squeeze our clothes after washing, we take out from bucket and we squeeze and we squeeze and we squeeze. Very easily we do that. In our lungi or our towel or something like that. Krishna lifted one huge tree of Kadamba and twisted it. And that time the coward boys believed, yes, you can do it. And then in that forest, it's called as Pravishtavan. Pravishtavan because Krishna did Pravesh in earth to lift Govardhan. So Pravishtavan. So Krishna entered that forest and entered a cave called Pravishta Gufa. That is, it was there a couple of years back also. We had taken darshan of that. And he entered that cave and underground he lifted the mountain. And those days the mountain was there because the curse of Pulasya Muni makes Govardhan sink by one mustard seed every day. So this is happening in Dwapar Yuga. So mountain was there. Where today we have a big parikrama, when Sanatana Goswami would do that 40 kilometer parikrama, there the mountain was. Then it went on shrinking, so that place is far now, and Govardhan also is far now. But the cave existed. So Krishna entered that cave, went underground and lifted Govardhan. in front of the eyes of everybody, most amazingly. That is the place also where Krishna exhibited the Chaturbhuj form, Narayan form to all the gopis, just to have fun with them. So this temple of Chaturbhuj Narayan, darshan is there right here, and to Krishna's, that is Narayan's left side, the cave was there. Very much it was there. Now they have closed it, because a lot of snakes and everything comes out of that. But the cave existed, it exists in spirit, in the same place where all this pastime took place. And you can see, when these people are requesting Krishna to save us, whom they are talking about first? Themselves? No, they are talking about cows. Because they know that Krishna loves cows so much. So this consciousness of a devotee, he may be in fear or may be in difficulty, in calamity or whatever, but the base knitting consciousness doesn't change. That their love for Krishna never changed. Their faith in Krishna never changed. Their thought process that Krishna loves the cows more than anything, that didn't change. And their selflessness did not change. Brijvasis have one quality. They don't think of themselves first. The true Brijvasis, the ideal Brijvasis, the exemplary Brijvasis, they always are in giving and giving and giving mode. They think of others more than themselves. And whatever is dear to Krishna, that they think of first, then about themselves. So they are also in equal danger. Their also life is in danger. But they are talking about cows to Krishna. How wonderful it is. What a wonderful exhibition of beautiful consciousness by Brijvasis. So they say, yes, yes, please save your cows. And we know you love your devotees, so please save us also. But that is a second priority. For them also. So it is said that when you put yourself in second or third or last priority, you come in Krishna's first priority. That is the philosophy. Das, das, anudas. When we put ourselves the last, in Krishna's eyes we become the first. And we try to become first and we also succeed and achieve the first position in service to Krishna. Maybe Krishna will not look at us as the first priority. This is the secret not only in Gaudiya Sampradaya. Gaudiya Sampradaya teaches this principle very prominently. Ashlishva padaratam pinastumam. And Gopi Bharatur Padakamallayor das das anudas. But this is not because Gaudiya Sampradaya is preaching like this, but it is a fact in the eyes of Krishna. When we put ourselves last, Krishna takes you as first priority. So by putting ourselves in last, actually we are going to become first in the eyes of Krishna. But genuinely one has to become in that consciousness that I want to serve others. And then if at all something is available for me, I am okay with that. All this thinking of the whole miseries that are going on in this pastime and the previous pastime and the pastime of Putana and the pastime of Shaktasur. Similar kind of situation was there when Trinavarta also came, right? So much of darkness suddenly came. And wind was blowing, sound was coming, horrible sounds. And it was all dust everywhere. Everything was flying in the sky. So much so that even Krishna flew in the sky. He was not there where he was kept. Can you imagine in a mother's heart, in a sister's heart, in father's heart, in brother's heart, in family member's heart, how much confusion will be there if your newborn baby suddenly disappears from the place and there's a storm going on outside. So bewildering it is. So that puts us to thought that all of us want to go and live in Vrindavan. We are taught that we should go and live in Vrindavan. But life in Vrindavan is not easy actually. Always, even though Krishna is there, right, living with you, playing with you, eating with you, bathing with you, all kinds of things are happening in front of you with Krishna. You are with Krishna. So what do you expect? Kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dhuli sadrusham vichintaya. Why we want to go to Krishna and to attain his lotus feet? Because we want peace. We want nirbhayata. We want freedom from all anxiety. We want to be free from all difficulties and calamities. That's what is expected. Because we are in difficulty, we want to come to you. We expect that you will free us from this anxiety. But it is not so. Even being with Krishna doesn't assure you and me that you will be peaceful. In Vrindavan Dham, when there was peace, you tell me. Right from the time when Krishna took birth, even before he came into the womb, before he even, other brothers were coming in the womb. From that time there was difficulty. From the time that his birth was announced, that he is going to come as the 8th son of Devaki, since that time the difficulties are coming. Poor mother Devaki and Vasudev, how much difficulties for that 8th child who is going to come. Many people say, why they have to conceive only? Because if there is no 1 number and 2 number, there will not be 8 number only. So why to take all this trouble? But they are servants of Krishna, they know the desire of Krishna, that he wants to come and he will come and do his pastimes and please us and deliver us. So they went on performing their service. But their service was never in peace. So one thing we should understand, in Vrindavan, peace is not guaranteed. Bliss is unlimitedly guaranteed. Amazement is unlimitedly guaranteed. Most unbelievable things happening in front of eyes, most guaranteed. But in the all things, peace is not guaranteed. Life in Vrindavan, especially, I don't know about Golok Vrindavan, but whatever we read about Bhauma Vrindavan, the Vrindavan that appeared on the earthly planet, is filled with difficulties. People were so scared, even there was apparently no active calamity going on, even people were in so much of fear that Kamsa is there. In Mathura it is explained that people would not speak about Krishna's birth ever. Even in private also, they were so scared if some spies are hearing us talking about the birth of Krishna. So they would not even talk about it. It's like Sannata. Nobody will talk about this event. In Vrindavan also, everybody was fearful of Kamsa. Not there were one moment where the fear, anxiety and such kind of situations were not there. But still, Brijvasis never left Vrindavan. Even when Krishna left, there was so much misery was there of separation. But still they never left Vrindavan. Because at the core of Vrindavan, there is this spiritual eternal bliss existing. In the middle of all these calamities, sufferings, anxiety, troubles, horrible situations, there is an inner core in Sri Vrindavan Dham of the spiritual bliss that is available. And more the external calamities, more the internal bliss. And that one has to experience by going there. So Vrindavan Dham is very intense in everything. Whatever happens in Vrindavan is completely intense. It is never mild. If it is X here, it has to be 1000X in Vrindavan. Whatever has to happen. Because Vrindavan life is like a fast forward. Fast forward means everything is quick and too many things happening. What would actually be spaced out in your life in 10 years, it may happen in 6 months in Vrindavan, all together. Because Vrindavan life means it was on 4th gear. Vrindavan will actually exhaust all your karmas so fast. But that doesn't mean that it will be just deleted by pressing a button. You'll have to go through all that events that you are supposed to go through. But it will be concentrated, intensified, and one has to be really ready for all that. Otherwise, in first experience, next moment you will be out of Vrindavan. Bas ho gaya. I want to go to Bombay and live my life peacefully. I cannot take up this dacoit, I cannot take up these murders and cannot take up all these things which I never expected to happen here. I thought I'll get pure milk here. But people are preparing artificial milk there, which becomes like a blotting paper after you boil it. This is only in Vrindavan, nowhere else. I have never heard this in anywhere else in the world. क्या कहते हैं उसको, mixture and all those things. What do you call that? Basal, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Contamination, huh? Adulteration takes place everywhere, we know that. But what happens in Vrindavan today is unbelievable. So, most unbelievable miseries take place in Vrindavan. It's a fact. And those who are about to join Vrindavan full time for their services, they should be told that, when we go on yatra and we go for 2 days, 5 days, 7 days, so blissful. We go in the right situation of Kartik when there is not cold, not hot. It's so pleasant, everything is so nice, green, just because rains are just over in August. So whenever we have gone unlimited times in Vrindavan in yatra, it was always a beautiful experience. When you start staying there, everything changes. Immediately, right from acquiring gas for your house, it starts. And then there are so many psychological and so many physical and so many social and emotional miseries which are most unexpected that happen. Every devotee who has gone to stay there, 2 times typhoid, 3 times typhoid, and what not, malaria and dysenteries, unbelievably. People are really, sab bhaya bantara suchihi. From within and without, they get completely purified. So chanting a mantra here is very easy. We chant a mantra and we go away. But what does exactly mean? One has to go to Vrindavan and see. So it is very intense in everything, and it's always churning. Things don't go in an organized way. Okay, this misery once, then I solve this, and next misery comes. All come together, and you are simply bewildered. So Gurudev told me, yes, Vrindavan life is very churning. This is not easy. And Vrindavan life is always eventful. There is nothing like steady life in Vrindavan. Now I have settled down, everything is going on smoothly. It's not like that. It's always filled with events. Most unexpected events will keep on happening in Vrindavan. And then, as I told you, no guarantee of peace, but bliss is unlimitedly guaranteed there. If you stay on, then bliss is guaranteed. Even in the middle of the miseries, the bliss is guaranteed. So, if we love Vrindavan, then life will never be easy for you. This statement was made to me by His Holiness Sachidanand Maharaj when he was in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. He asked me when he was about to get discharged, Vishwarup, you love Vrindavan? I said, I like to love Vrindavan. I will like to love. He said, life will never be easy if you love Vrindavan. It's a very big price. Loving Vrindavan is not a joke actually. Loving Vrindavan is loving Krishna. Loving Vrindavan is going back to Godhead. And if one has to do that in this lifetime, then he has to be prepared to pay the price. It's not just simply by saying one goes to back to Godhead. He has to get purified completely, become fit, become eligible to enter the kingdom of God. So whether you are in Bombay or London or America or Vrindavan actually, if you love Vrindavan, life will not be easy for you. And it's not a negative preaching or negative advertisement. It is actually a very encouraging advertisement. Because anyway, in this material world, when we are living, we have to undergo miseries, right? Who is free from miseries? Whether you love Vrindavan or not, miseries are always with you. So you have to go through the miseries anyway. Why not go through it for Krishna's sake? Why not go through it as a plan of Krishna to purify you? They are anyway in your account. They are anyway in your file. You have to go through it in this lifetime or the next or the 10 planned lifetimes by Yamraj and Krishna for you. But when you love Krishna and want to love Vrindavan, then Krishna takes the file in his hands, and conglomerates all the files of all lifetimes into one file and makes it a file of this life. Naturally, many things are going to be clustered, no? And many things are going to be given together because time is very short, and in this lifetime only Krishna has to finish the business with you. So what he does is, so many mountainous number of karmas are gathered together. So he says, delete many of them and dilute many of them into a token. Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. Brahmaji is already explaining what happens in lives of devotees of Krishna. That all the big karmas are given as a small token. Many tokens together becomes very big and suffering. But the devotee knows that this potential misery, this misery could have been potentially a big misery. I have gone through, some other time I will tell you the story. That karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam, how true it is. How true it is in the life of devotees. That it is a fact that we have to have faith in these words. That whatever happens in lives of devotees, it could be 5 times jaundice one after another. But still it's a token. What could have happened is unbelievable. Actually by the normal course of action. So, we should not fear by reading all those things that, life in Vrindavan is so miserable. Life to love Vrindavan is so miserable. It is blessing of the Lord. Because when Lord Krishna put Brijvasis into such difficult situation that we are reading now, it's very horrible actually. Just try to imagine yourself in that crowd, or as one of the gopas or one of the cows or one of the cows. Just try to be there. Then you'll understand. You have no direction to go to. You are so confused and bewildered. But later on, when they kept faith in Krishna and followed him and then believed him and they went behind him, what Krishna did, they could not even imagine the wildest of their dreams. That Krishna did. He just didn't say, okay, he raised his finger and said, stop, and the rain stopped. He didn't do that. He could have done that very easily. But he did that in such a beautiful pastime way, such a pleasing way, that he created a unique pastime for all the Brijvasis. That there is no pastime in Krishna's pastime which is mixed with all flavors together. Either it is Dasa Lila, or it is Sakhya Lila, or it is Madhura Lila, or it is Vatsalya Lila with Yashoda Mai. One thing happens at one time. At the most in the night time, Yashoda Mai will have Vatsalya relation with Krishna, and another Radha's Krishna will go to play the Ras Lila with gopis. But things will happen separately at two separate locations. But Krishna created such a wonderful pastime where all the Leelas, all the Rasas were brought together, and because they were brought together, there was no confusion. There was no chaos. Arey, somebody is expressing Vatsalya, somebody is expressing Sakhya, somebody is expressing Shanta. So it's all chaotic. Nobody knows what's happening. No, it was so smoothly and beautifully happening. Everything was mixed up so nicely, like a fruit salad. All fruits are there, but there is no confusion. Proper custard is there. It's all floating nicely. Everything is so colorful. So Krishna, most amazingly, unbelievably, lifted Govardhan mountain. It is Tamal Krishna Maharaj one time used to explain that no incarnation of Krishna has ever done such pastimes that Krishna has done. Most amazing. Lifting of Govardhan mountain. Even Pulatsya lifted Govardhan. But the way Krishna lifted, so sweet, so beautiful. So what we have to learn from this is that, yes, miseries will be there in life. One after another they will come. You must have gone through 50 of them maybe. But still the 51st will be most amazing for you, and most bewildering for you, and most confusing for you. And giving up feelings of hopelessness. I mean, the 51st will go through, and the 52nd will be most unbelievable. This is how the Krishna conscious life is. But if you go one after another with same faith that you had previously, maybe more faith because of the one more misery you have gone through, most amazing pastime Krishna will do in your life, the way he did with Gopas by lifting Govardhan. So we have to give Krishna a chance by not questioning him, by still keeping faith in him with the past experience. If we forget, then other devotees must remind us, isn't it that last time Krishna saved you? So with the devotees' help, with our faith, we must go through and go through and go through. Guaranteed is what? Every time Krishna will show you a most bewildering, most amazing solution to that problem. He will create. And sometimes the Gopas never knew that now we are suffering so much, death is in front of us. But very soon we are going to be under umbrella, enjoying the 5 rasas together with Krishna. Did they know that? Nobody knew this. But surely Krishna gave that most amazing experience to them. And nobody wanted to leave being under the umbrella of Govardhan. Even there were 700 nights and days, they would have stayed there. And there was, by the way, no kitchen department in 1 acre under the Govardhan. They were supplying lunch and breakfast and drinks and refreshments in between. There was no toilets in between to go and relieve yourself. There was nothing there. 7 days, 7 nights. Thus, people are wondering how could it happen? He said that the Rupa Madhuri of Krishna was so satisfying and so pleasing that nobody ever thought of eating, sleeping, or refreshments, or a break, or a sleep. They would have just gone on and on for years together. So what is Krishna guaranteeing you? That you are suffering for me? You are accepting my arrangements which I did do in your life with faith? Okay, it's my responsibility to give you ultimate pleasure. Unbelievable pleasure. I guarantee you. You just be with me. Just have faith, little faith in me. Look what I do for you. So Krishna is very obliged, because such devotees, such miseries they go through. They suffer so much. But they say, thank you Krishna. We know you are doing everything good for us. It is a very difficult statement to say. But when someone says that, Krishna becomes obliged to that devotee to take care of him. He cannot let that devotee go in hands of Maya or hands of demons to be attacked. He will keep him always in his lap. And in his lap he may do corrections for himself, for the devotee. But nobody else can touch you, because you are in Krishna's lap. So that is the beauty of life in Vrindavan. Our Rupa Goswami explains, Avaksha Rakshibe Krishna. Do not worry, O devotees. O dear devotees, do not worry. Krishna will be always there. Even if death stands in front of you in the form of a dreadful disease, do not fear. Because you have taken the name of Krishna, He will be there to protect you. Krishna will definitely protect you. His name, His form, His pastimes, His dham will be always at your rescue. Nothing to worry. Maybe long time, sometimes some disease goes on, some mental diseases, some physical diseases may go on, but we should not get bewildered, because people in the past have gone through much, much more than this, and even they are protected by Krishna. So with this experience, we should have faith that Krishna will protect us. He will never ditch us. We were in Mayapur with Pankaj Angri Prabhu and Kirtida Mataji and Vrishabhanu Prabhu, and Pankaj Angri Prabhu made a very beautiful point. He said that very few people are trying to go back to Godhead. What Krishna says? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit etadi siddhaye. Who just go to Krishna. But there are so many of them, thousands of them, one of them will become attracted to Krishna actually. And such attracted thousands of souls, one of them will become actually a devotee. And among such devotees, maybe one will reach the lotus feet of Krishna. So it is so rare. So anyway, in the population of the all Brahmandas, and in this Brahmanda, in all these planets, in all these countries, there are millions and trillions of people. But very few are trying to reach Krishna. And Krishna knows that. And if you are one of them, be sure that Krishna is helping you to reach Him faster. So do not have doubt. Just remain sincere, remain faithful, say thank you to Krishna whenever things happen to you, and call out His names. And we have to be sure, he said, that Krishna is more eager than us. Us going to Him than we trying to go to Him. Did you get the point? We are also eager to go back to Him. And He is also eager to get us back to Him. But His desire to get us back is much, much more than our desire and our effort to reach Him. Why? Because we are Anu, He is Vibhu. Simple logic is there. So even by philosophical definition, we are very happy. Okay, He is very big. His desire to have you is much, much more intense than our desire to have Him. Isn't it wonderful? So hopeful. In the middle of our misery of our life, this is so hopeful thing actually. And one more last statement I would like to say here in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It is said, all the adversities that happen in our life get transformed into welfare activities for us, for those who love God. If you love God, then what was supposed to be your reaction of karma will be transformed by Krishna into a delivering activity for you. It could be a reaction of our past sin, and it could be given to us as a reaction in a particular way. But in between, if you start loving Krishna, then that supposed to be a reaction of our past activity will be turned into a welfare activity which will lead you to Krishna. So from all sides, if you think, a life of devotional service is a very blessed life, very assuring life. In the life of sense gratification, there is no guarantee that we work hard and the sense gratification that you are actually planning to have is guaranteed. But in Krishna consciousness, you may go through so many of miseries, but attaining Krishna's feet and His love and favor is guaranteed. So that's why it is said that material life is, pleasing in the beginning and miserable in the end. To start with, it becomes very tasty, and long time it is very miserable. And spiritual life is very difficult and maybe full of troubles and questions and trials and tribulations. But the end is like nectar. So this is the beautiful blessings that we have. One devotee, I think Russian devotee, when he was dying out of cancer, suddenly the last moments, maybe last few moments, he said to devotees, my dear devotees, Srila Prabhupada is not cheating. Srila Prabhupada is not cheating us. Whatever he has said is a fact. And he left this world. What does that mean? Many of us may feel, devotee is getting cancer, devotee is going through so many difficulties, it's better not to become devotee. Even Pandavas said, we are not the ideal examples, because all the time we were going to misery only, looking at our life and studying our life, who will take up Krishna consciousness? It may look like that. But it's not like that. Krishna is there. And Srila Prabhupada, as a representative of Krishna, has guaranteed us. And many devotee stories there that they said like this before going, that Prabhupada is not teaching us, cheating us. Whatever Prabhupada said is true. Just follow it with faith. He has said, chant Hare Krishna and do not offend devotees and keep serving devotees and Krishna. If you do this, you will go back to Godhead. It is a fact. We will experience this in this very lifetime, and the end of life will 100% convince you that this is a fact. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Anybody has any comments? Yes, Prabhuji. Microphone can be given.
Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. My question is around how to develop and inculcate the habit of thanking Krishna in adversities and miseries. When miseries comes to us, how we can inculcate that habit? Every time reminding ourselves that we have to thank Krishna.
When apparently there is no misery, maybe like now. Because we have heard, we have discussed, we have read, we should keep praying to Krishna to give you the strength to do so. First you have to desire what you want to do. And then you have to ask for the mercy and strength and empowerment from Krishna to be able to do so when things actually happen. So first desire, then pray for mercy, and then tell devotees, okay, when I will go in misery, maybe I will start cursing and start blaming and start complaining. Please help me. Remind me that is Krishna's interference in life, personal interference, not Maya's interference. Because now you are chanting the name of Krishna. It is not Maya who is handling you, it's Krishna is handling you. So do not complain and shout and grumble when Krishna is handling you. So devotees will remind you, you will get reminder. I feel that we have to constantly keep praying. What we have to pray is that, my Lord, do whatever you need in my life to bring me to your service. But while doing so, if I grumble, please help me to thank you also. Do whatever you want. Give me strength to go through and give me strength to thank you. When you do things with me, I don't understand or I understand, but without understanding or understanding, let me always keep thanking you, that much strength you keep giving me. Then I don't have any problem, whatever you put me through. Because going through miseries and not thanking will lead us somewhere else. And going through some dreadful misery and being able to thank Krishna will always keep us at the feet of Krishna. Is there any other question? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्री गिरिराज गोवर्धन की, गिरिधारी श्री कृष्ण भगवान की, ताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल, श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय हो।